The Red Dragon pushes fake news, question mark? Now, I didn't really want to make this video, but because he came out so aggressively against Kotaku and just threw them completely under the bus, which makes no sense because if you look at a previous video he made, he even links to a source. Who's that source? Kotaku! And he covered that news completely thanks to Kotaku's excellent reporting by Jason Schreier. Who's Jason Schreier? Horizon Zero Dawn uses all sorts of clever tricks to look so good. I don't know, the type of video that Super Bunny Hop would make? Yeah, elite level stuff. Jason Schreier is the guy that pretty much blew the whole story off of Destiny Cut content conspiracy and gave us all the information. If we look over here and go to more Kotaku reporting, we see even more Destiny Cut content stuff. What? Yeah, ship, avatar, gear, look at all this shit. Maybe your pants have offense and defense. What? Your stats actually mean something in this game possibly? What's that? What? Trials of Osiris has a vendor before the game even came out? What? That sounds like cut content if you ask me. What's going on? So, thanks to them and their excellent reporting, we found out all the cut content conspiracy was true. And to top all this off, Jason Schreier is actually a pretty cool dude. He even went on the Weapon Wheel podcast. Shout out to them. They do the best podcast ever. It's the only podcast I listen to anymore, and it is by far the best. Jason Schreier was on. He talked video games and kicked it with them, and these are real people that had him on. These are real gamers, and they didn't bash the shit out of him. It wasn't like he was lying or pushing fake news or propaganda at all. So, to bring this full circle, what this all evolves around to is Kotaku pushes fake news because they put out a bad story, essentially. So all this comes from an InfoWars article. There you go, that's where we're going first. Talk about fake news, by the way. The guys that endorsed Donald Trump and then had to backtrack months after inauguration, like Paul Joseph Watson had to disown Trump. Yeah, these type of people that fell for the Trump guy. Yeah, those idiots. So, don't even get me started on Alex Jones and InfoWars. Those guys, I don't trust. I unsubscribed from them a year or so ago, and I am so happy about that, man. Fuck them. Those guys are fake, by the way. Anybody that goes in InfoWars for your news, you're being lied to. That's simple as shit. They basically broke down how BuzzFeed and Kotaku made a shitty article about transgender stuff, and you know the right-wingers, they go crazy for some transgender stuff. But all this did was prove that transgender rights and issues still are only being exploited by trolls and people that want to troll transgender people or set transgender rights back. It's essentially false flag operations is essentially what's going on right here. People are doing false flag operations to troll the transgender right movement. And I don't even want to get involved in that, by the way. This has nothing to do with transgender rights. This is just false flag operations. People did troll stuff. This will discredit transgender people in the future. Why? Because it's a big plot by the corporations to push back civil rights, to make this a hot topic issue opposed to any other real news story out there. We have to talk about stupid stuff like this because BuzzFeed and some people at Kotaku want to push fake news. So, what is going on here? Yes, they did push fake news, but does Kotaku overall push fake news? No, I wish he would have went more in depth in this story, because he literally, if you're gonna say Kotaku pushes fake news, but in another video you post, you link to Kotaku, that would be like me or Jimmy Dore or anybody saying CNN is fake news, which is fact. Why? Because they're owned by a corporation that pushes an agenda of the military-industrial complex or the globalists or anybody, whoever you want to blame, they push that shitty narrative and they're horrible. Any mainstream news, they're all horrible. Kotaku just happens to be caught in the middle. They're owned by a corporation that pushes a lot of fake news, but at the same time, they do a lot of good journalism and investigation to help consumers. So they're in a moral gray area, and for Red Dragon to just push it as simple as, hey, they push fake news, is discrediting the good work that they actually do. And for once, I have to come to the defense of a corporation or a company or something, but only because there's some guys on there that's good. So I put in the comments, the ending just shows what happens when you rush to break news. This isn't real. Philip DeFranco mentions it all the time. It's what happens when people value money over knowledge, truth, and facts. Basically, the people at Kotaku just wanted a news story to run with it. They didn't value knowledge, the truth, or the facts. That's what happens here. It's not as big as fake news, because for me, what fake news is when a big corporation lies to the people or manipulates them like MSNBC, or completely fake like Fox News. But Kotaku's not as bad as that, and if they were, sure, I'd be right there with you bashing them. But because they do such excellent reporting on information that we've all covered as gamers, that helps us and teaches us a lot about the culture and exposes the frauds and corruption, Ubisoft didn't talk to Kotaku for a little bit, and Bethesda has a gag order completely on them. They don't even say Kotaku's name, and no one, according to Jason Schreier, has even asked. Jason Schreier pointed out that nobody has even asked Bethesda why they did it or any more information on this, because they're all in on it. So This is the definition of fake news. You have people doing some journalism, they get blackballed, and everybody covers their ass, the people that blackballed them. That's fake news. That's the real scoop right there that Jason Schreier pointed out. That every other gaming news syndicate, IGN, GameStop, all those other guys, you do not fuck with them. I should do a diss video for the No, because they did some other shady shit. So my point of the matter is we only have like one gaming news place that actually does amazing work. There's a couple others like VentureBeat I've seen before, but my point is don't just throw anybody under the bus because they made one shitty post. Do more research. Dilemma or a predicament. What do we do about Kotaku for posting shitty articles? Or what do we do because Kotaku has Jason Schreier on there that completely carries that company on his back and doesn't seem to be biased, and he doesn't seem to be buying into propaganda that Kotaku is putting on, at least from my knowledge, from what I've seen. So, I don't know. I'll leave this up to y'all. All I know is that the Red Dragon did a bad job of phrasing the title and just slandering Kotaku, who does good work in my opinion. Yes, this is a blemish on their record, and maybe Kotaku doesn't have as good a record as I think they do, but they do good shit that I've done videos on, and even the Red Dragon on that has to count for something, doesn't it? Leave a like in the comment section, leave a comment in the like section, leave a subscribe in the subscribe section. Thanks for watching, let me know your thoughts. Unlike the Red Dragon, I'll leave a comment to anybody down below. Hey! Or, you know, I'll read your comment at least. I was hoping Red Dragon would say something, but no, so fuck it. We're just gonna post it anyways. I honestly waited too. I waited a little bit because the video went live and I was like, I'm gonna read the comments, see if anything happens, see if he does a pushback, see what happens, see if he's like, yeah, Kotaku's not that bad. Nothing. So because of that, I had to make this video. Thanks for watching though. Peace out.